Hi, I'm Margaret and welcome to Garden School. Well, in the winter time, we may be tired of staying inside the house, and if we do have a sunny day, there are still some chores we can do outside to prepare for spring. So, one of the things we're going to do is think about, do we have any perennials that could be divided at this time? Well, let's go out and see. So along this pathway are two big clumps of coreopsis, a nice yellow flower that blooms for a long time during the summertime. But as you can see right here, the plant has grown so much that here's the stubble from what I cut off from the fall time. It's coming right out to the edge of the pathway. And I'm going to just see if I can lift out some of this part right here and divide it. So I've moved the rocks away from the clump of coreopsis, and I'm just going to try and dig down and lift up a little bit to see what this root clump looks like. This time of the year, it's not going to be a problem to just cut right through. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do from this side and just cut this strip off. Then we can just pull this up and we'll get a clump out of here and then we'll be able to divide it. So now comes the fun part where we get to pull this thing apart, and we might want to use our spade, and you noticed I was using a spade to cut through this, not a shovel. So a tool that has a sharp, flat, more or less flat edge will help with that. Now here's a little clump that just came right off. Oh, you can see how bright yellow those roots are. That's really pretty. Anyway, that's something I'm going to pot up, or I'll just relocate. Now let's try to divide this clump here. See if we can do it just with our hands. Oh, there we go. Wow. You could just take this clump here and put it in another location. If you want to pot it up, you might want to split it up a little bit and put it in a gallon. Then you can share it with somebody who would like to have some beautiful perennials. So I'll get busy on this, and you notice I just laid out an old tarp to work on this here. You can do it on cardboard or wherever you want to do it. Sometimes you'll find that a clump or a cluster is just so dense that you have to maybe get a pruning saw, and that is also okay. Or you can even try and use your clippers and stuff like that. If you use your clippers in the dirt like I usually do, which is not the best practice, but hey, it works. Some people use an old knife from the kitchen to help with dividing. So I'll work on this for a little bit. Well, I did find a location for some of those divisions in the front yard to just put a little pop of color there. And then I filled in a little bit where I dug out so there was no missing soil. So I added some back in. Now I've got some potted up here, and I'm just going to use some potting soil, general mixed potting soil, trying to remember which side is up. And at this stage it might be kind of hard, but I do remember that these dry stems were what was left after I trimmed my coreopsis in the fall and cut it back. So I'll just use some potting soil, and I'll set this in here, and I'm going to actually put a couple of clumps in here because I believe that the friend that I'm going to give them to is going to get them in the ground pretty soon, this spring. And then I'll just fill in. If any roots are sticking out, you can just trim those off. Just try and tuck it in so that the roots that are in there are covered with soil. There we go. So we got a division to give to somebody. And now that was just taking a little division off the side. Sometimes you have to divide a whole clump because it's just too big and the flower production or the plant health has diminished just because of cramping of space and not enough nutrients. I would need to have a friend help me with that. Sometimes those clumps can get pretty big and you want to have enough energy and enough strength to do that. So anyway, there's just something on how to divide a perennial in the winter. It's something to do. These pots, I'm just going to leave them outside where they'll get rained on and who knows, perhaps even snowed on. But they should be okay until it's time to give them to my friend. And she can pot them in the ground, put them in the ground and enjoy. that beautiful color. Well, perennials are something that are fun to give and to get too. So enjoy that. There's always more to learn in the garden. Bye-bye.